Tonight,
I think you are somebody else.
the document examiner faces his biggest challenge.
You can't even get past the border.
A passenger is caught with his pants down,
You can close the door.
and you won't believe where they're hiding drugs.
A normal videotape wouldn't have that inconsistency.
Oh, son, can you get me some gloves?
Customs has a delicate problem on its hands. Thomas has just flown in from Prague and, to put it mildly, he's on the nose.
Just before he got his passport stamped, he pulled his pants down to his ankles and adjusted himself.
What's more, he's travelled halfway around the world without any luggage.
Now, you're here for a holiday?
That's for 10 days.
Do you have any clothes? Where's your clothes? Nothing else in your... What do you want to do in Australia? Can you tell me anything that you'd like to see? You want to see the...
I don't know.
Do you want to see the famous things here?
Yes,
the big,
yes.
Yeah?
Hyde Park, yes.
Hyde Park. Do you have cash money?
Oh, money. Yeah,
No money?
yes, I have money, yes.
How much money?
$500.
Anything in your pockets?
There's no law against travelling light, but his passport looks dodgy.
He's got a visa in his passport that doesn't have...
It's 6 a.m, rush hour at Sydney Airport. Thousands of passengers have cleared customs and immigration. In an immigration interview room, Emmanuel is having an anxious wait.
I've been in the plane for the past 2 days. I'm tired. And now I have to wait here in the chair.
This gentleman has arrived on an Italian passport, speaking to him, Italian speaker. The question is now, what is his nationality?
I can't chill out until they tell me whatever is going to happen.
I have a number of concerns about this passport. The first one is we have some stamps in his passport that indicate he entered and left Melbourne Airport in 1999. We have no record of that on our systems, which sets alarm bells ringing. And looking at these stamps, I'm not satisfied that they're genuine. I'm going to have to get an expert to have a look at this a little later. A few of the names appear to be Italian. Hello, you're Emmanuel? Nice to meet you, huh? This officer, his name is Deepak. He's a trainee down here at the airport. The first thing that we wanted to ask you about is you don't actually have a visa to Australia. Can you explain why you don't have a visa?
Because you don't usually get a visa.
Everybody needs a visa to come to Australia.
I was here once before as well. I didn't need a visa.
Well, that's something I wanted to talk to you about as well.
What's strange is, look at this, the visa, it's got no name on it. I've never seen that before.
Thomas has some explaining to do.
Because usually, I'm assuming they write in there, but either they haven't written it in there or it's a bull visa, wasn't it, sir?
How much money do you got?
Well, he reckons $500. We're just going to have us talk to immigration. Come with me. Hi, Ken.
Hello.
Mate, I'm wondering if you could have a look at this person for me. He's here for 10 days. He's a Czech national. Not got too many funds on him at all.
I want to... So, yeah.
Where did you first notice this bloke?
Just after the duty-free. He just decided to adjust himself and tuck himself in with his pants around his ankles. That's basically...
Concern, isn't it? Yeah.
Thomas looks more like a tramp than a tourist, here for 10 days without so much as a change of clothes.
Just ask him and indicate he'd like to go to the bathroom to refresh and wash up, which I think is a good idea.
You can close the door.
Thomas says he only needs to wash once a week.
I don't want.
You don't want to?
No.
He went to the toilet, he stood there, looked at me, and then I looked at him, and we just had an awkward moment together, and then I'll speak to him in a minute. No, lady, no cigarette. No cigarette. Here.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Where are you staying while you're staying in Sydney?
Od hotelu na Capitol Square.
Do you have a confirmed booking there?
Máte tam zamluvený
Ano,
hotel?
mám tam zamluveno 7 nocí.
Yes, I booked 7 nights.
Do you have an itinerary?
No, I just want to have a look at the city and then just go for short trips.
How much money have you brought with you?
500 cards.
For 500 cards at all?
No,
Já jsem důchodce.
I'm retired or on a pension.
Can I just ask you, Thomas, why you're travelling very light?
So, Mr. Quaddy, you just got on an aircraft without getting a visa for Australia. Is that right? And where did you board the aircraft?
Aircraft
Yeah.
from Denmark.
How long were you in Denmark for?
2 days.
Why?
Just a look.
Been to Australia before. When did you come to Australia before?
I was in 99.
Why?
To see the country.
And how long were you here for?
20 days.
20 days. And what airport did you come in?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. And where did you go out?
Where?
Where?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Well, the thing is, Mr. Quatty, we don't have any record of you arriving or departing on this passport. Nobody's ever used this passport to come to Australia before, and those stamps are fake.
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 Can't be fake.
They're the wrong shape for a start.
It's not a forge.
I think it is.
I think not.
Thank you, Thomas. Now, you sure you've got no baggage, no suitcase?
No, really, that's all.
If Thomas is just a drifter, he's drifted an awfully long way. From Prague to Sydney with just $500 and a shirt on his back.
What if you need some more money? How are you going to fund your stay here?
To mi nedojdou, to mi na týden stačí.
No, that will be enough.
Že to nepotřebuju víc věcí.
Because I don't need it.
Okay. Now, Thomas, can I just have another look at your hotel booking, please?
Ano.
Yes?
Just got to make a phone call. Won't be long.
Okay, I'll be here.
Thomas claims he has a 7-night prepaid booking.
So the hotel been paid for? Okay. All right.
The hotel checks out, just. He's covered for 7 days out of 10.
Have you seen that?
But there's still the question of his passport.
That means he was unsuccessful in this visa application.
That's from the US Embassy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got a visa in here also for South America, which he never used. Yeah.
And he saw the Americans in September, and then he saw us. Hang on.
At immigration in Sydney Airport, Emmanuel's passport says Italian, but is the document genuine?
The bottom line is, if this passport is a forgery, and I think it is, okay, then I don't know who you are, and I don't know what nationality you are, but I believe my officer when he tells me that you can't speak Italian properly.
I don't speak Italian. I told him I prefer to talk in English.
Yes, but he said you speak Italian.
No.
No? Okay. Where were you born?
Rome.
In
He's
Rome.
got some English,
And what are your parents?
smattering or more of Italian. We think he could be Albanian.
Who were you going to see here?
Nobody.
Nobody. What were you going to do here?
Just look around.
How long for?
Not a month, because at the 4th I start work again.
In Albania, the TV does not have subtitles, and major programs, or most of the programs are in English and Italian, have those languages. He really fits the profile for us, but we'll see what else he will tell us.
Have you booked any tours? Do you know what you're going to see? Do you know what you're going to do here?
Well, in a month's time, obviously, I've got time enough to look around.
Yeah, but you've got no plans. People don't generally get on a plane and come to another country for a holiday without any idea of what they're going to do.
It's 8 a.m. at the Brisbane Mail Centre. Melissa for quarantine. They're part of the team that screens all overseas mail, postmarked Queensland. The screening is a lucky dip that often pays dividends.
Hang on, can you grab that one? I think there might be tabbies in there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 there. A normal videotape wouldn't have that inconsistency along that. Some of these screws in this video cassette. As you can see from the X-ray, it appears to be some tablets. The sender has tried to conceal them inside the video cassette. The X-ray showed a little bit of an inconsistency, possibly tablets. So we're just going to open this videotape just to double check that they are in fact, it is tablets. They could be prohibited. There we go, look at that.
Back in immigration, Thomas's papers are not in order, and neither is Thomas. But a record search shows the visa to be valid. It was issued in Austria.
When Vienna issued the visa, they never actually saw Thomas. So they've just issued the visa and sent it back to the travel agent in Prague.
The condition the Prague tourist arrived in, Thomas is a mess.
I'm not satisfied about the issue of the funds. Someone on pension can purchase an airline to get around the world, not carry yet any luggage, have $500 in cash, and he can't explain how he can access his funds. If he can't come up with a satisfactory answer, I think that'll be grounds for cancellation.
How much money did you bring with you?
I go 700 quid.
700
euros.
700 euros won't get you very far.
Of course not.
No. Did you bring traveller's checks or anything like that?
I left in a hurry, so I forgot everything back.
Why did you leave in such a hurry? It's just a holiday.
I know it's holiday.
So why did you leave in such a hurry?
Just left.
I'm going to get an expert to have a look at this passport, but there's some serious problems with it, and until those problems are resolved, in a situation where you won't be granted entry to Australia today.
I won't?
No.
What about all the money which I spend on?
In Brisbane,
Look-see there.
the home video is not what it seems.
Excellent. You got 10 tablets.
They look like ecstasy.
That's another one from the UK, is it, Kath?
It is.
Yes, they don't seem to think we can X-ray through them. They look, Ray shows them up quite clearly, so here's another one.
Just going to take a little bit of the residue. And what the iron scan machine, it'll actually heat it up and cooks it. With the alarm going off, that's told us that it has tested positive to MDMA, which is the chemical name for ecstasy, and our graph shows us that it's peaked at the calibration for M was ecstasy.
Back in immigration, Thomas is in dire need of a shower.
Now, Thomas, can I ask you, you might consider a personal question. We were just a little bit concerned about the smell, and it might be a little...
No, I don't know anything about anything like this. It was a very pleasant trip.
Oh, okay.
Velice dobře se mi letělo.
Yeah, I was very satisfied.
He's only got the clothes on his back at the moment. He hasn't got any other clothing with him. Is he going to buy any other clothing at all?
Budete si kupovat tady nějaký jiný šatstvo nebo právo?
Nebudu.
So you're just going to stay for the next 6 or 7 days in the same clothes that you have now?
Yeah, I've always changed.
Okay.
It's sort of normal for me.
That's good, okay.
Well, the shirt might last for 10 days, maybe, but the money in his pocket won't.
Do you have access to any money when you get back to Prague?
I've got enough money when I get home to get my a meal and get home, and then I can take the money out of the savings bank.
Have you suspended at 10:05 hours?
He's got no luggage, and he doesn't even know how much money he's got. Check pension is not very much anyway.
No. I'll give him a notice of intention to consider...
And see what he says. See what it says.
Now, Thomas...
Yes?
I'm going to give you what is called a notice of intention to consider cancelling your visa because we don't think you're a genuine tourist here and because you don't have enough funds to support yourself while you're here.
He says he's an invalid pensioner. He says he doesn't have any friends or family. It's likely that he'd become someone who's lost, bewildered, out of his depth in Australia.
I'll come back in 10 minutes and you can give me a reason why we shouldn't cancel your visa, okay?
Well, I can tell you right now.
Back in Sydney, Emmanuel's dodgy passport has landed him in trouble.
Okay, how did you get that? How did you get it?
Passport.
Tell me how you got it. With the passport?
Yeah. In mine.
Right, they were issued in 2 different years. This passport photograph is the same as the one in there. Yeah, I know you got them at the same time because you paid for them. You didn't get them from the Italian authorities. I don't think you are Emmanuel Quatti. I think you are somebody else.
Nope.
I think you are not an Italian citizen. I think you're something else. Interview suspended at 7:05. I feel like he's lying to me, but I don't think he's telling me the truth.
Passport is real. Because if it's false one, I wouldn't be here.
He's still saying it's real, and he's saying you can believe what you
He
want.
has to, because I'm sure he's invested a lot of time and effort.
It cost him money.
Oh, yeah. It would have cost him heaps.
Yeah, I asked him how much it cost, and he said he just got it through the normal processes. Yeah, the normal people smuggling processes.
Yeah.
Dave, we got a passenger downstairs. I'd like you to look at his passport, if you don't mind. The guy is not... I don't think I'm going to get any information out of him, so I'm relying on the document.
Yeah, no problems. Just leave with us and I'll give you a call.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
I got the plane from Denmark to here. Nobody told me anything. So when I get here, they say it's false.
It's looking quite good, actually. I can't see any damage there at all. No evidence there's been substituted or used for the second time.
If I get told by an expert document examiner that his document is genuine, then I'll go in there with an open mind. I think if he was a genuine visit with him that I'd had, he'd be a little bit more outraged and a little bit more nervous than he is at the moment.
So miserable. So like not human.
Thomas, could you give me some reasons why we shouldn't cancel your visa?
First of all, my return ticket is valid in 1 week's time. Yeah, that's my only reason. And I ask, no, of course, that's it.
Immigration is not convinced Thomas can support himself for the duration of his stay. His visa is cancelled. He's going back to Prague.
We're going out this afternoon at 4:15.
All right, well, can't be helped.
But the plane won't take him anywhere until he freshens up.
Here's the shower, okay? Yes. Know how to use? So we will wait out here. Knock the door, okay?
I don't think he used the soap. Tons of soil in between the toes. The smell is absolutely irritating. He must have been years without wash.
Thomas arrived in Prague the following day. He hopes to return to Sydney sometime in the future. For Peter and Emmanuel, the moment of truth has arrived.
Did they find anything out?
2 Aussie stamps, the Melbourne ones. Yeah, they're both counterfeit. The pages are all counterfeit, the watermarks are counterfeit. I've also checked around the photograph as well. No evidence there has been substituted or used for the second time.
Okay, yeah.
The actual page and the whole passport is counterfeit, from cover right through to the back cover.
Okay, interview. Okay, Emmanuel, I'll call you that for the sake of convenience, but we've just had an expert in document examination look at your passport, and they have confirmed what I believed, and that is that your passport is a forgery. A forgery. Okay? What do you have to say about that?
You sure it's a forgery?
Yes. I wouldn't tell you it was if it wasn't.
So many people have come to Australia with dodgy, purchased them, organised them, or been given them for work purposes.
The Italian passport we are seizing because it is forged, and will not be seizing it, and it will not be returned to you.
We think he's Albanian. He won't be prosecuted, and he won't be prosecuted because There really is no point to it. What we're after is a quick turnaround. This sends a really strong message to people traffickers, people who can't even get past the border.
No charges, but the man will be sent back to Europe.
Just spoke to Singapore Airlines. They can get him out on the 1 o'clock flight. Could go all the way through to Copenhagen, but certainly Singapore at this stage.
Fantastic.
I don't think they'll probably be coming here again. For sure not.
Singapore Airlines was fined $5,000 for flying the passenger to Australia without a visa. Remains unknown.
I'm not going back to the United States.
You will be going back to the United States because that's where you came from.
If you wrote a book about the weird things people do, no one would believe you.
Oh, what is it?
It's a king cobra. People do strange things.
You need to pay this. Oh. Yeah?
Why am I being treated as a terrorist or a drug smuggler or trafficker? It's not a court hearing.
And even though I haven't met her, we both love each other very much.
Now I have to see what he looks like.
Hi, everyone.
Walk in,
We believe you have committed an offence